What's up, guys? Bondfire here, and welcome to 3-Bar Exploits number 35. I'm joined, as always, by Whackmed19 and TacticalOyster, who actually is sick today, so he's not going to make it to the show. It's unfortunate. We wish him the best, and hopefully he gets well soon. Feel free to drop him some nice remarks on Twitter at TacticalOyster. And today we got a special guest. It is xTomass. We thank you for coming onto the show here.
I'm on a show that isn't my own.
Very cool, very cool. First off, so Thomas, tell us a little bit about what you do on your YouTube channel and what kind of games you play.
Oh, what don't I play? I've played everything from MOBAs to prototype demos of Minecraft clones. From
Very cool.
China.
Minecraft clones.
Yeah, from China. I never recorded that, but it was quite an interesting experience.
Yeah, if you want to find some games that you've never heard of and that may or may not be cool, or I guess may or may not ever make it to market with the stuff that you do with developers, check out that channel. There's a lot of weirdness. You got some pretty cool, weird, open, expansive games on your channel.
The things I've seen. I'm the biggest YouTuber, well, I'm the #1 source of 300 Heroes content, which is a Chinese ripoff of League of Legends. That is a proud title.
There you go, that's
even
cool.
The Chinese appreciated it. They gave me a dev account. I was like, hell yeah! And then I stopped playing it.
If it works, it works. You stopped playing.
Very cool.
So,
very cool.
That's great. Definitely not a lot of I didn't see any AAA titles on your page when I just snatched it up real quick and looked for it.
Well,
that's cool though.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean,
those are a rare occurrence. They're like surprises. Just to nobody expects them, but they sometimes appear when I'm interested in the game. Most of the time, they don't appear.
So, what game are you most interested in playing right now?
Right now, this instant.
Right now.
This might change, but in 2 minutes. That is the question you don't ask me. I think I currently enjoy a lot of Starbound.
Oh, okay. I've heard a lot of cool things about that game.
Yeah, it's currently my only Let's Play series because I don't like doing those because I get bored of a series quite quickly.
Yeah. Do you get bored of playing it or watching it?
No, I haven't. I've gone through basically the whole game like 3 times.
Yeah.
I did one series on it and I didn't even get that far. And then I rebooted it. So I'm currently on that, so that's interesting. And I do mod spotlights or whatever they're called.
Oh, okay.
Everyone calls them reviews, but I don't like that name. Makes me sound official.
So you don't play much Call of Duty?
Well, I play it when it's on free weekend on Steam, and there's a bit of enjoyment I get out of playing it, but I call it a paranoia simulator. Because if you're not good, it basically amounts to you run, and there's always someone behind you. No matter what you do, there's one guy always behind you.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good take on it. I like that.
So I don't play it a lot, but when I do play it, it's usually in small bursts where I record a video or two and then just stop. Because I just mentally can't handle being paranoid all the time.
You're a PC gamer, is that correct?
Yep.
Only on PC? Do you even own any of the other consoles?
Well, no, because they're not widely available here.
They're also, I looked at the prices, they're much more expensive in the United Kingdom than they are
Well, I'm
in
not
America.
from the United Kingdom. I'm slightly more east, about 2 time zones. And here, they're just kind of, they're not feasible. So computers, way more realistic here.
Do you mind saying what country you're in?
That makes sense.
Or would the Gestapo
I don't
come get you?
mind. The question is, do you know this country?
Okay, try me.
Latvia.
Laughing at who? I didn't.
No, that's the name of the country, Latvia.
Latvia. Okay. So I would guess that it's over east of Switzerland.
Where the fuck is Switzerland?
It's,
I don't know Europe.
East of the Alps.
Alps. What are the Alps?
It's a mountain range that goes through several European countries. You're in Asia. You're not in Europe.
No,
right?
no. I'm in Europe.
You're in Europe.
I'm Eastern Europe.
Now I'm gonna go to the. Now I'm gonna go to Google and find it. Now that I've guessed, Latvia.
Yep.
The first thing that came up was Latvian jokes. I wonder what that means.
Wow, those are great. Trust me.
Okay.
I think I'm the origin of those.
I gotta look them up now.
All right, drop one on me right now, just because I'm very unfamiliar with your country.
I haven't made any for like 3 years now. They
just give me an old one, or like what's the stereotype for your country? I'm just out of curiosity.
What? What's the stereotype? Dumb farmer?
Well, I would just. Okay.
That's one.
It's on the Baltic Sea, the east end of the Baltic Sea. Oh wow, you're way up north.
It's not really that cold here. It's warmer than it was warmer here than in America this winter. So I'm happy about that.
Wow. Very cool. So
this is pretty long distance right now.
I was gonna say, what time is it there?
8:44 p.m.
On Sunday, right?
Yes.
It's 1:44 here, and then
almost
11 o'clock for you. Some of these jokes are just bad jokes.
I know. That's the best thing about them.
Man is hungry, he steal bread to feed family. Get home, find all family have sent Siberia. More bread for me, man think, but bread have worm.
Oh, that's a World War II joke. Because let's not go into politics here, okay? Let's just talk about.
No, we don't do politics.
No, I could yeah.
Let's save ourselves from that putrid.
Oh, please do.
Hell.
Yes, I agree.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Latvian. Latvian who? Please open the door. It's cold.
No, that was pretty good. I like that one. Oh man. So, I actually did a commentary recently about AAA games and some of the effects I think they have on the gaming industry. So if you haven't checked that out, please go do so to all the viewers and everyone. But one of the things I said is
I'm gonna go check that out right now.
Okay. Well, one of the things I did say towards the end and in closing was that I feel like some AAA games really changed the perception of gamers, and I feel like it's done this over time and really hindered on what people think of smaller games, like indie games. Definitely some of the games that you play. What's your take on that? Kind of curious.
I'm not even sure where to go with this.
Okay. Well, the reason why I came to that conclusion was, I visit a lot of gaming sites, and
yeah,
I always read the comments because, for one, you can find a lot of hilarious comments in there, but two, you can really get a feel for how people feel on that particular topic. And I feel like when you go to, some of these indie spotlights or, news or information about an upcoming smaller game, that people just immediately just throw it away. They immediately think it's bad because it's not a AAA title. And that frustrates me. It really frustrates me.
I've been on the other side of the coin where all indie games are basically praised like the Lord. But recently, there's been this thing that before this, there weren't that many indie games. Now there's just boatloads. I literally go on IndieDB every day, and I have a new game to play.
Yeah.
But I won't play it because it's probably trite, but let's ignore that fact. So there's a lot of games coming out from the indie market, and about AAA games, you see these amazing trailers. About indie games, you know nothing until they have made like this short little trailer that probably doesn't even say anything. So it's quite.
Some don't even make trailers.
Yeah, half of the games I play don't have trailers. They have Kickstarter trailers to get money to make the game.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like the. I think that there's some really cool games that are indie that are just time killers. It seems like some of them are meant to be time killers. Like, how many versions of riding a motorcycle do you need? How many versions of? I mean, I just look at stupid games like Flappy Bird. There's got to be like 80 different versions of that before Flappy Bird was taken down. Like, before it even got real popular. I'm making an arbitrary number. I'm not saying that exactly.
I've seen at least 16 just by meeting people in real life.
Right. It's like, this isn't a new game. I don't understand why this one matters specifically, but that's a different topic. But there's so many.
In theory, it's not an indie game in the sense of the PC market. It's just an iOS game, and basically all that happens there is just a mess. It's like the Wild West. You don't want to go there.
Right. I think, well, maybe the iOS market, along with some of the other games in the indie, just copying this game, that one. You were saying that one of them that you've enjoyed lately is a copy of League of Legends, and it's another version of it, a Chinese version of it, I suppose.
The thing is,
how many versions of the same game do you need?
I call it a ripoff, not because it's ripping off League of Legends, just because it has like 1 billion copyrighted characters. Like, you can play Arthas from Warcraft 3. You can play anime characters like Naruto or whatever. You can play just midgets, as I call them. They're actually Chinese puppets, but I call them midgets. I call it the Chinese ripoff of League of Legends. All they did was take the map from League of Legends. They've taken sounds from Dota. They've used assets from League. They don't care there. Okay, that's not even an indie title. I think that's a full-blown development company. The thing about that game is
ripping people off.
What?
And they're just ripping people off. Like, they're just stealing concepts and sounds and.
Well, in that aspect, yes, but the player base is pretty happy. And in all actuality, their microtransactions are pretty fair.
Yeah.
The thing is, people are asking to port it to the Western countries, and I'm just sitting there going, "Are you guys suicidal?" Because if that game comes to anywhere in the West, it gets shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I covered a game that was a fan game of Dead Space a few days ago. Like, 3 hours later, I was getting PMs from the developer to take down the video because the company was coming after them.
Oh, it was EA coming after that small company?
I think it was, what is the development?
Visceral
called?
Games?
Visceral, yes, them exactly. Wasn't EA.
Wow.
At least that's what I heard. All I knew was take down the video. So I did the most reasonable thing for both sides and just unlisted it. So it's still there. If you want to watch it, I can give you a link.
That sounds pretty interesting, because I actually really love Dead Space. That was a fun game. I love that series, actually.
It was really early, so it's not... You couldn't even stomp, and I mean, what kind of Dead Space is that game?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't stomp. What's the point?
So yeah, that was that little experience.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, there's now, when we say indies, I mean, I guess you can talk indies, and then there's even smaller, even developed game, PC games. I mean, like Steam, Greenlight Access, Early Access, those types of games. Do you play a lot of those, or I mean, what are your take on those?
The Steam Early Access, or
or like basically like paying for an alpha, in those smaller games. How do you feel about that, or do you do that a lot?
I personally don't pay for a lot of alphas because I'm literally piling up on alphas to play, so I have no reasoning to pay for one. The whole concept of paying for an alpha seems kind of ridiculous at first.
Yeah.
But I can see their thinking behind it. They can develop the game further. Yeah, that was a weird word. Further. There we go. That's how you pronounce that one. They can make it bigger, better for release, and give people something to play until release. But then the players burn out on it, and they don't really care about that because they've already got the money. So
yeah,
it's one of the problems I've got with DayZ. It's like you had it as a mod, and people liked it or loved it or whatever. It had a following. It had enough of a following that they decided to make a game out of it, and they came out with an alpha that was worse than the mod off of Arma 2. Why don't you just go back and play Arma 2's version of DayZ? Why would you want to help with the alpha version of this? Especially, why would you pay for it? And then it's just, I don't know. I thought the whole thing was just kind of silly from the beginning. And now they're having problems with it. Duh! Who didn't see that coming? Really?
Well,
who didn't see that coming? Like you just said, why would you pay for an alpha, especially, or whatever it was you said?
I have like billions of them to play, so okay. That's a different story. There we go.
Yeah.
Why would you pay for an alpha when there's no guarantee the game will come out?
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel. I don't know. I feel like you're throwing your money away almost. I mean, it's good to help developers. I understand that reasoning behind it, but if you're not guaranteed a product, I mean, you're investing into something where you might not get a return. Very risky.
Well, it is risky, but it's up to you to make that decision.
True. Okay? Completely.
If you get screwed over, you don't go blaming anyone. You made that conscious decision of being an idiot.
That's true, but you know people are going to blame the developer.
Well, of course, because
it's an easy way out. Exactly.
And I'm just currently looking at Steam Early Access, and I think half of these are zombie games, and half of these are just games that shouldn't even be there. Why is Hawken on this list? It's a goddamn free-to-play game.
Isn't Hawken... Is it out yet?
I think? I don't know.
They promoted that game like 2 years ago?
I have no idea.
This has been a while.
Let's look at this. Hawken. There we go.
I have no idea.
Early Access, February 2014. Okay, but it was available long before that. Right, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why that's on the early access list. It's just in. It should be just in the free to play.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about early access. I think it's cool, but I don't know. I don't know. I've never tried it though. So
I tried it with Starbound, and that's currently the most successful video series on my channel. But I can feel it not being finished every day.
Do you think it will be finished?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
They're making great progress. A lot of these games are making great progress in their early access state. Some of them, nothing. And that is your great risk with early access or Kickstarter, for that matter.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. What were we gonna say, Wackman?
I was gonna say one of the games I've been enjoying lately is, and it's not early access or anything, is Thief. We were gonna transition to another topic. So, Thief just came out. It's a lot of fun. I have the box around here somewhere. Doesn't matter. The game's hard. I haven't played a game this hard in a really long time. And I mean, I'm not set on the top version, the top difficulty level, just on the whatever the normal one is, the Thief level or whatever. And there are some missions. Now, there's some missions I restart a lot just because I just did it just to see what would happen. But when I actually, I go through and I'm trying to do it this way, it's very difficult. And they say you can play the game without ever killing anyone. And I think I killed someone in the very first mission, and I got through it, and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to go. And I don't think I've killed anyone since. Now, if you killed someone, if you took around, because you can carry broadhead arrows around with you, if you carry the broadhead arrows around with you, I could see you could wax a fair amount of people. I choose not to. Not that I have a moral objection against it. It's a video game. I kill them all. I don't care. But I want to get like the thief part of it. That's the experience I was going for. I want that experience of being a thief. And if you want to be a thief and not whack people on the back of the head and take them to the side and throw them in a ditch or whatever. If you're actually trying to play as a thief and not kill anyone, this game's really hard. It's for me anyway. Whatever. Maybe not hard for somebody else.
Yeah, I never played the originals, but stealth games I've always been interested because I'm a huge fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, which is all based on stealth. And then I think it was 2 years ago, I picked up Dishonored. Maybe it was 2012. Now I picked up Dishonored, and that game is that's a game I would think you would enjoy if you like Thief, Whackmed. But it's really cool. I mean, you have special abilities, so there's a power aspect to it, but it's really cool. But anytime you play a stealth game, not killing anyone, I mean, it's very challenging.
Have either of you played Mark of the Ninja?
Look, I don't play.
Yes.
I don't play very many games.
You and
I are way on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like you played 1 billion games. I played like 2.
I've tried to do that, and I just get bored with that game eventually. I never get good at a game. I just get sick of it. So Mark of the Ninja is a side scroller, still a game. You can go the whole stealth way, not killing anyone. That's always an option. You can even avoid the bosses by just jumping over them or whatever. I think some of them at least.
Yeah.
You can kill everything, or you can do what I did, is play the Insanity one. Basically, that involves you scaring everyone shitless so they kill each other. And I find the best amusement in that. Just people being scared shitless and killing each other.
There aren't bosses in Thief. It's more like the hardest part of the mission, where stealth is the biggest concern or at the greatest risk for stealth problems. So it's really kind of interesting and intriguing to play a game like that, where there are no like boss fights or use your skills against the boss. I finally got through the part where that they've showed in the trailer, where you come out the rooftop and you run, and then they release the hounds next to you, and it's kind of half of a cutscene and half of you play along. There was enough cutscene in it that I just thought it was going to play out, so they released the dogs, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, oh, too late. They caught me. I just figured the character was going to move on his own. I thought I was watching. I put the controller down, and picked up a glass of water.
Put it down. You picked up a beer, and just like
I'm just looking at it, going, hey. Run. I've seen this trailer. You're supposed to run. And no, I actually had to do it, so I had to replay that part. But since there's no boss fights, it's the stealth gets harder and harder in places, and I think it's kind of cool. You use opium to increase your focus. Mm-hmm. So it's got a lot of drug reference in that, and then you go to a brothel and there's some straight. I'm not used to sex in my video games, and it's put on display. So I just wasn't ready for that. I mean, it says it, but it's like they put that tag on everything now.
All right, you convinced me to play this. That's on the down.
It's like, but I mean, the nudity tag gets hung on everything now. If a guy shows his butt, you're gonna hang the nudity and sexual content sticker on it, but. No, this one earned it. It earned it fairly.
Good job.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm hoping to pick up Thief. It'll be eventually because my money is being currently invested elsewhere.
It can wait because it's a single player, and it's just a single player, and there's no co-op, there's no multiplayer, and they said that they weren't going to do that. As much as you can trust a developer, said that the game's just going to be single player because that's what the game's about. I was like, you know what? If you're gonna act like you're true to yourself, you're true to your product, I appreciate that. I really do. And the game is worth it. It's well worth the money I paid for it. I don't know how many times I'll play through it. At least twice, just to see if I can get better stats than the first time I played it, especially the earlier missions. So.
Or just peaceful run, murder run.
Yeah, I may do that. I may go through and see how many people I can wax on the way through. Peaceful and murder run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Dishonored, they had two endings. The peaceful
Just like what game?
and the murder. Dishonored.
Oh, yeah.
Dishonored. Is that the one where the guy hides behind the horse as it's running?
No. That is,
I don't think so.
That is Metal Gear.
Yes, Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah.
There we go.
I wouldn't recommend that game if you haven't played the others.
You would not? Oh, starting at 5 instead of further down?
Yeah. Starting at like 4 for the, like, if you had a PlayStation 3 and you just bought Metal Gear Solid 4, like, you're not gonna get the references within the game, because like in Metal Gear Solid 4 there's so many big like wow moments. You're like, oh, I get it now. You're not gonna get that. That's what I did actually, because I'd always wanted to try a Metal Gear Solid game. When I got my PlayStation 3 years back, I borrowed Metal Gear Solid 4 from a friend, played through it because everyone said this game is amazing. Played it, didn't understand it, and it was fun, it was great, I enjoyed it, but I was like, I know I missed probably so many big like moments. And then I finally went back and I played 1, 2, 3 and replayed 4, and then I was like, okay, I get it now.
I hate it when
I get everything. So that's the reason why I'm currently playing Mass Effect 1. I played 2 and 3 before. Now I'm playing 1 just to see what have I missed. And all I can figure is that I've missed the worst combat system I've played ever.
It's not very good.
I tried to play Mass Effect 3 and I couldn't get through the prologue. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored with these cutscenes. And I mean, talking with people later, I guess they were just trying to fill out the story for 1 and 2. Not worth it.
3 was good. I enjoyed 3, mostly due to the fact that there was more talking than ever before. And that's what Mass Effect's about. More the talking than the shooting. The shooting's just there to like fill in the blanks between the talking.
Not for me.
Yeah.
If I want to watch talking, I'll watch Oprah or something. I don't.
Oh,
please don't. Jeez,
that's a good alternative. I also because there's plenty of blue aliens on that.
People jumping on couches drinking tiger blood. I'm sorry.
Basically Krogans.
Yeah.
Man, see, I've never played Mass Effect 2 or 3, but I played through 1, and it was hard to get through. Like, the first half of that game is so slow, and you're right, the combat is absolutely horrid. But the story really picks up the second half, and once you kind of get towards that point where it picks up, it's very, I could finish it easily.
When does the second half start?
I honestly can't remember.
Can you please tell me and timestamp for me, when does this game not suck? That was the question. Yeah. At what point does this game not suck?
I think, if I remember correctly, and I don't think I'm giving any spoilers away, it's basically when you have to make a decision between whether or not one of 2 people die.
Oh yeah, I just went past that, and then I turned the game off. So
I think the rest of the story is pretty good. If I remember, that's the spot. So don't even do the side stuff. Just buzz through the story.
Just amazing. I wanted to do the side stuff because I'm interested in the world. Because I'm playing basically. You guys know D&D, right? That tabletop game nerds playing their
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
love that game. Once it's on computer. The tabletop version, that takes too much. I don't want to do the math, the calculators and pens and pencils. No. Put me on an advanced Dungeons and Dragons platform on the computer. Bring it. Let's do it.
So basically, what me and my friends are doing right now, it's called home brewing, when you take the systems and modify it to your own pleasure, and we're basically running a Mass Effect campaign in a D20, which is basically D&D, just slightly simpler. So that's been going interesting.
For the people that don't know, can you explain what D20 is?
D20 is basically D&D, just changed rules. I haven't dug deep enough. I was like, I want to play this, but I can't be arsed to do any math. So we have a guy in our party who really likes to make characters. So I was like, hey, do it. And he did. He did a good job.
Cool.
It's enjoyable.
That's pretty cool.
I love D&D. The Baldur's Gate. I loved playing Did you play Baldur's Gate? This is like a 15-year-old game. Maybe a 20-year-old game. Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Am or Arn or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of missed those due to the fact when I was born. So.
Well. I mean, you're going back and playing Mass Effect 3. That came out like...
Oh, come on.
Mass
5
Effect
years
1.
ago? 6 years ago?
When did Mass Effect 1 come out?
2007, if I'm not mistaken.
Boom, 5 years ago. So, I mean, that's a throwback.
And I also installed a mod so the graphics are more current. But that crappy game, so...
Speaking of crappy... Dude, Dead Island 3 was the download, free download.
Dead Island.
Dead Island, I'm sorry. Dead Island was a free download for Xbox 360, and I for some reason the other day I found myself without internet and just the game console, and I forgot to take games with me except for Payday or Payday 2, I'm sorry. And without the ability to go online, running Payday by yourself is just not, they never made it where that was a doable thing. So
I haven't played it, but I know that it's, without co-op, it's just...
Without co-op, it's broken. Fun. Yeah, and since it's not a AAA title, it needs some things. I hope a big developer picks it up and does those things with it. That would be cool.
These days, indies can accomplish things the bigger devs sometimes can't.
But for some reason, these didn't. This is like the opposite or the antithesis of that statement. And these individuals... They didn't fix this.
They did a stellar job there. I mean,
it was a pretty good. Yeah, as long as you've got 4 people with you, you can really have a lot of fun. Anyway, so I started playing Dead Island.
Ugh.
Wow, the graphics are so bad, so bad.
That is not my major complaint with that game.
I didn't get very far with it. I'm trying to find alcohol drinks for some guy, and there's like bottles of booze everywhere, and apparently they're all empty because it won't let you pick any of them up. I don't know. I didn't get very far in the game, but the graphics in it were so atrocious.
Well, you also got to consider you're going from the Xbox One back to that game.
Yeah, okay.
Anytime you go from Xbox One or play, next gen to current gen, it's bad.
The mouths don't move when they talk, man. Come on. They don't even try,
awesome.
And they
did
game. That in what do we play Medal of Honor on? It was on the GameCube. The GameCube, their mouths moved.
On some titles it didn't.
On
Even
some
through
titles,
Xbox.
I'm just saying this is technology that was figured out, and I mean the game looks like it's got potential. I'd actually like to get with Bondfire and play through some of it, have somebody to help me out.
Bondfire. What was that one?
This guy.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you were talking about the new version of Dead Island, which was like a MOBA.
It's where you stack all the zombies up into a bonfire and. Anyway, I wouldn't mind having my hand held through the game because it is kind of weird. Wow. Yeah. It was not great.
There's definitely a lot of problems with that game. Well, I'll have to help you out because I don't know when I got done with that game, given its problems, it was awesome.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that game. Now Dead Island, the second one, was more of the same, but it was still an enjoyable experience. And one of the great things I like about that game is there's so much content. There's so many things to do, and it's well worth your money, even though it's buggy and glitchy. And
so I'm trying to figure out why I've got like 47.8 paddles in my inventory. I just throw paddles at people, and apparently I have the best aim ever.
Which guy did you choose?
The guy that threw stuff. I think it's the white guy.
Oh, okay. I think that's the guy.
The white guy who threw stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember. He was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, but I couldn't tell you his name.
I don't know.
But
so anyway, I made it all the way to where you're out like walking around the pool and stuff, and you're supposed to go get the keys for the lifeguard or the med kit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't make it very far into the game, maybe 30 minutes into the game, but I say all that to say graphics matter a lot more than we have given them credit for in the last 5 episodes of this show. Whenever your character talks, your mouth should move. Maybe it doesn't line up and sync up, but it needs to match up somewhat, and it needs to move. And there need to be better graphics than Slender Man.
Okay, here's a fun fact. That game is graphically superior to most games I play, but aesthetics-wise, it's just weak. It doesn't. I can play a side scroller that looks just fascinating, but graphically, it's not that advanced. It's just quite simple. So there's a massive distinction between graphics and aesthetics. Is you can do great things graphically, but it's just going to look like a mud hole. And then you can do things aesthetically with less resources and get something magnificent.
I didn't mind. I like the palm trees and the swimming pool and the sand on the beach and stuff like that. The setting looks kind of cool. It looks believable. It's good enough to look believable. But whenever it shows any individual, like what was that game, Fallout, that you did a Let's Play of, Bondfire?
Yep.
You do a Fallout, and whenever you talk to people, the people talk back, and you knew there was a conversation going on, and there was interaction there. This game is not that at all by any means. And I understand they came out a couple of years apart, but all that being said,
one had lip syncing, so.
But take it all the way back. Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers, was a side scroller. Mario Brothers 3, it's a side scroller. Those had really good graphics for the day. I mean, they were clear. They were very clear. They were crisp, and you knew where the edges of the characters were. You knew where the edges of the like pipes and holes in the ground and mountains and stuff like that. You knew where things were, and there wasn't this mess of like runny paint water for graphics. And graphics do matter more than you may give them credit for. Like, and I think that's what we can agree on, in that muddy, paint watery, where you don't know where one thing ends and another thing begins, and it's just kind of, you made a shape and left it alone. That's not good enough. But no, it doesn't have to be like lifelike 4K resolution on the lines on someone's face. It needs to be somewhere in the middle. The graphics do matter.
I think the Xbox One would explode today, because I don't think it can run that kind of graphics.
You hold your tongue.
Well, I think I
will not hold my tongue.
With Dead Island, it's an open world game, so that's where all the resources are going to. So I think that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. Open world games, because there's so much to process.
They have a fantastic world. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't like anything else about that game but the world, because it's massive.
Yeah, it's really big. I actually liked the melee combat system in that. I mean, it's certainly not the best, but for me, when I was playing it, it felt really gratifying. Like when you're actually beating someone up, because shooting, there's not a lot of shooting in that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it looks like.
I'm just doing what we need to do. Paddling. That's what the game's about. You throw paddles at people.
I threw paddles. I've thrown a lot of paddles.
So. I had a bunch of knives and stuff, so.
And it brings me back to a point. At the very beginning of this game, you find a hut where they're shooting a porno, and the girl's a zombie. What's with all the sex in video games?
There
I didn't know it was
there. Sex sells?
Okay.
I liked, I think Riptide had it, or one of the Dead Island games had it. They had, the collector's edition had a decapitated torso of a model.
Yes. I don't think they did that in the States, though. I think they took it back in the States.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not sure where they did that, but when I saw that, I was like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Why would you take that out of the model? I don't know. Like Dead Rising 3, Bonfire. Punk Man and I just got through the portion where the sexy cop lady, horny sexy cop lady, we just killed her, and I think we stopped somewhere right in there. And it's like, I'm used to about that much, and I didn't realize that there were full-on porn scenes in video games. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I just
You're
When
talking.
did that
you're
become a
talking to
thing?
me.
I never saw
talk-
Yoshi do anything like
A long
that.
time
you know?
ago.
Oh
The
man.
first God of War has it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
You don't see it, but it's there.
Yeah,
And I'm the
it's
guy
there.
who's playing mods and indie games. Indie games don't have these things, but mods. Oh boy, the mods. Woo! I have seen everything.
Oh boy.
They created more.
Oh,
man.
I think we need to change topics.
You know, I think we're actually out of topics, but I could come up with a couple of random questions. Which
Random questions
actually
are always good.
should be fun for today.
Okay.
Would you ever kill someone for real? Real life.
Just that's it. That's your question.
That's cool. I didn't think these out very. Look, they're all conceptual questions. I was gonna try to like build them around the conversation that was already going on.
Would you
we
ever
didn't do that?
kill
We just
someone?
directly went on. Like,
I mean,
but they ask cops this question, and it's actually harder for a lot of cops to answer whenever they're trying to weed them out. A lot of cops don't make it to become cops, but you would assume anyone that goes into the military is willing to say yes, that they would.
yeah.
You would be thinking that any cop would be willing to say yes, that they would. This is actually the plot twist for U571, Matthew McConaughey. Isn't that right? For that movie? And that he has to be willing to kill to let one of his crew members die to save the rest of them.
I just googled U-57. That's German submarine. I don't.
Yeah, they kind of owned your country one time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Several, actually.
Several
One
times.
period was about 800 years. Let's not talk about that.
Okay, we'll move on.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Oh, are we gonna move on from that question, or are we gonna?
Do we
answer?
have to? Look,
mean-
everybody's scared.
I mean, I don't know. We can move on. I'm totally fine with
Is it a
that.
bad
That's
question?
an interesting question.
Yes.
It was a bad question.
Okay, we'll move on.
Would you
No,
ever
I'll just
eat?
say yes.
Would you ever eat
To that
mountain?
conversation.
Would you ever eat mountain oysters?
That's what I'm
No,
No, neither one of you.
no.
I want to know what oysters' answer to this question is.
Because
Probably
I
yes.
believe I do know what that is. And
It's
that's
a cow testicle, I think.
Isn't it?
It's a cow or
Yeah.
bull testicle.
It's bull testicle.
It's a large animal's testicles.
Yeah.
And they're.
Not eating them. Have you ever seen anybody eat one though?
I think it was on Fear Factor back in the day.
I think it was. It's probably what I didn't.
So,
think.
yeah.
Probably was, because they've eaten everything else.
It's pretty.
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes,
know.
they have.
Eaten them
I
each
remember
whole-
this one episode distinctively where they ate like these cave spiders, and these freaking things, they had like little like claw things that like came out of their face like that. Disgusting. I don't even like spiders, but those things like were spiders 2.0, and they ate them.
Okay, here's a fun story. I once woke
boy.
up at like 3 a.m.
That's the worst time to wake up.
Yeah, and the first thing I did subconsciously is look at the wall, and then I couldn't see it because it was really dark. So I walked over to the lamp, turned it on, and there was a spider. I woke up at 3 a.m. because there was a spider on my wall.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That is weird.
You
But
know,
hey, at least you woke up, and
I'll-
I assume you took care of it.
yeah, I threw a book at it.
My wife doesn't kill spiders. In our marriage contract. It actually says that I will kill all the spiders that need to be killed for the family. That's not true, but it sounded actually factual.
gonna say,
It might as well be in
sound
there because that's the way it's going to work out. So,
Fact.
I like to mess with her and go, that spider right there is hungry. And it's just trying to provide for its family. And you know what? That spider's not making it home tonight because you wanted him dead. I would just assume these bugs. I'm not scared of most any bug. I'd like to scrape them up in a piece of paper, take them outside, relocate them. Now, bugs are fine that way. Cats have to die, but that's a different story altogether.
Wow.
So, anyway, I want to relocate these spiders. No, palmetto bugs. When it rains, palmetto bugs like to try to find places that are dry, which is the great big cockroaches. And every once in a while, you'll find one. I want to take them back outside, throw them away. Just because when you squish them, then you got to clean them up. They got guts. It's nasty. And no, she wants them dead. There's no reprieve. There is no justice. And it's like Braveheart on the table. There will be no mercy.
That's why I throw books at most insects that are in my room, because then I don't know if they survived.
You give them a fair shake.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
You know what? Maybe I got bad aim today. Maybe I don't. Either way, you better not be there when the book hits the floor. That's all I'm saying.
But then wouldn't you, that thought of it potentially still being alive and creeping around your room come, haunt you a little bit?
I didn't know Bondfire was such a little girl about bugs.
I don't like spiders, so I'm not anti. Spiders creep me out. I don't like them at all. And in my relationship with my lady, it's about 50-50. She would probably argue that, but we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, well, don't tell her that with my wife that I have to do all the killing. I don't want to get you in a potentially problematic area.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah. No. Do you have a tattoo?
No.
I was wondering when this question would come up. We all know Oyster's answer.
That's... Go ahead.
Because he's not old enough. Yeah, anyway, I do have a tattoo.
Neither am I, but I could get one. Because this is this weird country.
You can't
Do you want a tattoo?
No! Why would I want one?
There's a lot of people that get in Western culture, tattoos are becoming more and more popular.
Definitely.
My classmate has a tattoo of Mortal Kombat on his hand. And I'm thinking, you're going to regret that so hard.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. But if there's something that maybe like a family name, or I don't know, or something like that, I mean, if it has meaning to it, I find it completely appropriate.
Sure.
As long as it's not like up your neck or something.
Or down
your
in your genitalia area, because that's just kind of weird.
Yeah, that's... Well, I don't know why you would ever do that.
Nobody sees this! Why do you need
there's
this?
people that see it.
Yeah, there are some people who see it.
So there's an individual I know of that wore short enough shorts that good looking girl too, had cat paw prints go up from behind her knee, upper thigh, that disappeared inside her shorts. That was funny and kind of left you wondering. Oh, there you go. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna let it go right there. Kind of left you wondering.
Kind of left me wondering.
I've seen, as a paramedic,
Do the paw prints lead to a pussy?
Okay, I was gonna let it go. As a paramedic, I've seen like lawnmowers right at the belt line. The little push blade lawnmowers. Those are always funny. You would be surprised how many people like to incorporate their nipples into tattoos. That's really kind of funny. I know a coworker who was in the military who's got their blood type in Arabic, I think, tattooed on their rib cage.
Why?
Well, I think I don't remember the whole story, and I want to say he may watch this video. I want to say his whole unit was getting their blood type tattooed on their ribs, and to be contrarian, he chose to do it in Arabic. I don't remember exactly. But he's
so in case they took him hostage, at least they know what kind of blood type they need.
At least they know what kind of... They didn't want to take this guy hostage. I just could foresee this guy being... He's like... We went to a concert together one time, and he's like, when you go moshing, because I've never moshed. I've never been in a mosh pit. He's like, when you go moshing, you do it like this. He's giving me instructions on how to mosh. He's older than I am. He's like, you want to make sure you do it like that way. That way nobody hits your genitals, nobody take you down, and when you mosh, you do it like this. I'm like, okay, so I wouldn't want to take this guy hostage. He could be a tough customer, I think.
I don't understand the point of moshing. I've never done it.
Me either, but
it does not appeal to me. I don't understand.
At that Alice in Chains concert, I wanted to so badly. I did. And it's just Alice in Chains. I just think if you got something that was real true headbanging music that I wanted, I could see where the environment could be developed, that I wouldn't want to fight to hurt you or offend you or harm you.
I've never been to a concert.
But I want to fight just for fun. Come on, let's fight. Let's see. The bloody nose makes it all stop. You get a bloody nose, we'll stop. Me too. Come on, let's
I just don't. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't get it.
This is where Oyster would make a joke about you being on the West Coast, but I'm going to let it go.
That's fine. There's a lot of fantastic music that comes from the West Coast as well as the Seattle area.
That's true. So
Ha! I'm from neither coast.
no, you're on the east coast of the Baltic Sea.
Damn it!
Your country. I looked you up. I found you. I know where you are.
Do you now?
Yeah, I went all. You're all Sandra Bullock over there at this point because I found you on the net. Anyway, I found a tattoo that I thought, or I drew it up, that I thought I'd get when I was young, and it was the Maltese cross, which is the cross for firefighters. It's the cross of St. Nicholas or something like that. It's the Maltese. It's the one you see on the side of fire trucks, and typically it's got.
I haven't seen a fire truck.
That's I've read some of the jokes. It's because your country can't afford them. So the jokes
Not
are true.
even a joke.
Okay. Anyway. Anyway, it was the EMS Star of Life inside the Maltese Cross instead of the fire scramble, and I wanted to have that look like it was in like a bed of flames and put it on my chest. So while I'm nice and young, I can ripple my muscle and I can make it look like the flames are, flickering and stuff. And when I get old, it'll just look like I put the fire out. And that was my math behind it, and I never did get it. But I don't have any tattoos, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel like I've missed out on anything, and I make no judgments on people who get lots of tattoos. I wouldn't want lots of tattoos, but
let them have it. It's their choice.
I think so when some girls can pull this off, but like when they do like a 3/4 sleeve, I think some of that stuff looks cool, but I don't think I would ever do that.
There's a girl that works with us who's got a full sleeve. I think it's full sleeve now, and hers has got a lot of New Orleans tie to it, and there's a lot of like I'm gonna get this all wrong, so if you do watch this, please forgive me. But New Orleans and Cajun culture or Acadian culture, and maybe it's just the New Orleans-y stuff back all the way with some French influence. But hers looks pretty cool, and it's a full all the way down to her wrist. So, and I think it goes all the way up her arm, and maybe both arms. Yeah, I don't know.
So I think some of that stuff's cool, but yeah, I got one tattoo. It's very small. It took them like literally 5 minutes to do. So,
would you say what it is?
Yeah, it's a cross with my favorite Bible verse on my shoulder.
Can I ask what the verse is?
It's Psalm 46:1.
Cool.
Yeah.
You've lost me.
They don't have Bibles in Latvia.
But I can see why people get a lot of tattoos though, because even though my tattoo took like literally 5 minutes to do, because it's very simple, but it's a weird pain, and some people find that addictive. And that's why a lot of people get tattoos.
I'm okay with pain. I don't mind pain. And I can take a lot of pain. I don't usually go looking for it. I'm the guy that gets the sore on his lip and then bites his lip until it bleeds and gets to be a big sore. That's me. So is that what you're talking about? I would be the one that gets addicted to tattoos?
I don't know if necessarily you would, but there's some
Go
people
and find out.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. There's just some people that I don't know. It's almost like the adrenaline rush of that type of pain. It's not like a super painful pain, but it's a different type of pain that's almost enjoyable. I don't know how to describe it. That's why some people get a lot of tattoos. It's interesting. I mean, it's almost like a burning sensation.
Do you want to go read the Bible more so that you have more tattoos to get?
Yeah. No.
No.
I've always thought about getting another one, but I have nothing that's meaningful enough to me at this moment to do so.
Yeah, see, that's my thing, is I wanted something that went with me throughout life that I didn't get, like, oh man, I love chocolate strawberries. I'm going to get a chocolate strawberry on my ankle. And then next week you're like, you know what? I've developed an allergy to strawberries and diabetes. So now this tattoo means absolutely nothing to me.
Now it's just a painful reminder.
That's just a painful reminder of what I cannot have. All right.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's a good point.
Do we want one more
Very good
question, or we want to go ahead and wrap it
Yeah,
up?
let's do one more.
One more
Let's do one more.
question. I think this is especially appropriate today for some reason. I don't know why, but would you ever try an experimental drug for something that you were not dying from? So this isn't trying to fix a problem that you have. It's just a drug. Do you want to try it?
Do you have an example?
No, I have no example. But this is a drug that's in a clinical trial phase, and you are going to be paid, we'll say, $10,000.
Yes.
Would you ever try the drug?
Yes.
Even though it could kill you?
Yes.
$10,000 is worth it? Because, I mean, that's a good amount of money, but it's not like fix you for life kind of money.
That's not life-changing money.
Although,
I mean,
if it's life-changing money in Latvia, then I'm going to take out a loan here, save up $10,000, and move to the Baltic Sea.
Well, it's definitely cheaper to live here. But with that comes the problem of nobody paying you anything.
Yeah.
So, you just get a lot of money in America. Come right ahead.
Yeah.
But you're going to meet a lot of Russians. A lot of Russians.
I have no problem with the Russians. They come.
You
Bring me
think.
to vodka. We have good time. Do you like vodka? I like vodka.
You're going to die
No.
from that.
Mother Russia would not allow it. Yeah, I actually found one of the
you're done.
jokes that was on there was, what did one potato say to another potato? The premise is ridiculous. Who has two potatoes?
Yeah.
See, when I was reading it, I was like, I don't get it. But when you said it, it's all about the delivery. I get it now.
So you have to say it with a Russian accent the way it was actually written. What are one potato say another potato? Premise ridiculous.
Okay,
Who
here's
has
a
two
fun
potatoes?
fact. Here's a fun fact.
Okay.
Fun
Normal
fact.
Latvians don't have a Russian accent.
Okay.
It's more like a British person with Down syndrome.
Wow.
Okay.
That's an interesting example.
Yeah, it's not even close to a Russian accent. But our people are quite interesting because we just like pick up all of the languages.
We kind of did that too in America.
You did? Really?
Yeah, because like the further down in Florida you go, you get more of a Spanish flair and the way people pronounce words. If you go, I mean, like people make fun of the accents that are in America. Like if you go up north into New York or something, and they talk like this, and there's the stereotype of other people that live south of Bondfire where, hey man, they're just having a good time and they talk like this.
That sounds like a good place. A fun thing
That's
is
true.
that my accent is usually pointed towards America. I'm like, I'm not fucking American. Leave me alone.
I was gonna say because I don't notice much of any accent at all.
Yeah, it's a mess. I like things messy, including my accent. It was a freak accident during the whole time since YouTube Foundation. I've been watching video after video after video, and before that, I was watching cartoons.
Okay.
And we don't have the budget to dub our cartoons into our language. So I was watching cartoons in English, and in the end, I have something unique.
Here, put this up.
Hold on.
What is that?
Not even.
I was gonna say, how many languages do you speak?
And I'll go with 3, but I'm not. One just kind of is there. I can understand if people are talking to me in it, but I am not the best in the pronunciation of Russian words.
Yeah.
I have to
Can you
look
read
up
it though?
Russian.
Yeah, I can read it.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
I need it.
Looking at Russian.
Yeah, I need to learn it. It's not like we need to learn 3 languages by the time we finish middle school.
I'm actually envious of that because I wish that was something I did at a younger age was learn multiple languages. Why do you shake your head no?
You learn a language you like, okay?
Sure.
You can learn that any time. But if you're forced into learning a language, you fucking hate it.
No.
Especially when you're a child.
Yes,
It's like,
I could see that because there's no way I want to learn
Yeah.
Spanish. I don't mind picking up Spanish as I go. I don't mind
Yeah.
working at learning and how to communicate this or that. And I'm actually not terrible at conveying a simple thought or idea. But being forced to learn Spanish in high school was atrocious. I mean, that was.
And you're probably not even going to learn anything.
No, I didn't learn anything.
Because for the past at least, I don't know, 12 years? No, that's slightly too much. 10 years? I've been teaching the teachers since I was 7. Just because I watched cartoons.
You're teaching them English? Is that what you're talking
correctly, teacher?
You talking about teaching them English?
Yeah. English teachers. How to teach those.
Team death.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wish I knew Spanish because I took 3.5 years of Spanish in high school.
You'd do better
And-
with
You
French,
don't
wouldn't you?
get, do you?
What? I
You don't
don't know. No, but at the last job I had, we actually had a lot of Spanish clientele, so I started to relearn a lot and communicate.
You pick it up
but-
naturally.
Exactly.
That's how languages are supposed to be learned.
How do you find a bunch of Spanish people in Oregon?
It just
You'd be
happens.
surprised.
I mean, your America is just a giant cocktail. Even here,
Sure.
it's a giant cocktail, but there, it's like everyone. Just have everyone.
It's true.
Yeah, and for those of you, if you've made it this far into the show, let me see if I can find. There's Latvia. I've got them on Google Earth. So, what part of Latvia do you live in? Like east, west?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough
Okay, that's
question.
fine. No, you don't have to answer it if it's not that big of
That's-
a place anyway. It looks kind of like a boot. There's a spike on the toe.
Well, it's always looked like sort of a fish to me.
A fish. I can see that. Like his tail's over here on the left, around Ventspils and
Yeah. The thing is,
Paha.
20 years ago, this wasn't a country.
Mhm.
But, okay, 20 years ago, it became a country, basically, okay? And then we sold off a bit of our land to Russia. That's something you won't hear from America doing anytime soon. Yeah, we're just going to sell off a bit of land.
Can we sell
From
off
our-
everything south of Orlando area?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Who the hell would buy that?
How do you have more Spanish people in Oregon than French? I would think French would be a much larger language
Why do you say that?
because you're so much closer to Canada.
Yeah, no.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess like in that corridor of Canada, you've got more like. 'Cause I don't know. I don't know enough about that part of the country.
Isn't more the French on the east side of Canada anyways?
I thought it was, but I mean it's Canada. It's one country,
True.
and
Sure.
they can only inhabit like the 10 miles from the United States border. That's not true either, but I made it up.
They
Okay.
can inhabit more.
Making up
I even
statistics,
know
just
that.
like Oyster.
So, all right, guys, that was episode 35 of 3-Bar Exploits. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to like, subscribe, share this with other people. And we want to go ahead and give a big thank you to Tomas for hanging out with us. Go check out his podcast. You're like 90-something episodes into your
92.
podcast. 92 into his, and you can find that at youtube.com/xTomass. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
All right.
Cool beans.
So that's it. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. Have a great day. Now I got to figure out how to cut this thing off. Where did the exploit go? All right.
Woo!